Today's headlines. The Philippines and Japan sign business investments and joint ventures worth $6 billion. President Duterte asks lawmakers to fast-track the approval of the Bangsamoro Basic Law. The Armed Forces of the Philippines warns against the possible movement of terrorists associated with international group ISIS around the country. Survivors of Super Typhoon Yolanda spend All Saints and All Souls Day visiting their loved ones in mass graves. Good day, I'm Pia Rosas Morato. Welcome to the PNA Newsroom. The Philippines and Japan signed fresh business deals as part of President Duterte's working visit. Business reporter Chris Mundo filed this report.
The Philippines and Japan signed fresh business deals worth $6 billion following the visit of President Rodrigo Duterte to Tokyo from October 29 to 31. According to Trade Secretary Ramon Lopez, who accompanied President Duterte in his second visit to Japan, these commitments came from 18 business deals involving new investments and joint ventures between Manila and Tokyo. The trade chief mentioned that the $6 billion business deals will be invested in sectors of manufacturing, shipbuilding, agribusiness, power, IT, business process outsourcing, retail, transportation, and infrastructure. During the visit of President Duterte in Tokyo last year, the Philippines and Japan signed financial deals reaching $19 billion. Lopez added that the Philippines, as chairman of this year's ASEAN Summit, has secured Japan's support to reach a substantial conclusion of the ASEAN-led Regional Comprehensive Economic Partnership. For the PNA Newsroom, I'm Chris Mundo.
President Rodrigo Duterte is scheduled to return to the country tonight following his two-day working visit to Japan. Among the highlights of his visit was his second meeting with Prime Minister Shinzo Abe. The president earlier said he wished to convey his gratitude for Japan's continued support for the Philippines. The two leaders discussed the advancement of the bilateral partnership between the two countries, including matters involving socio-economic development, peace and progress in Mindanao, and modern infrastructure. Duterte was also invited to dinner with the Prime Minister at his own residence. Other highlights of the President's visit are his audience with His Majesty Emperor Akihito and Her Majesty Empress Michiko, and his courtesy calls with Foreign Minister Taro Kono and other top Japanese officials, as well as the signing of letters of intent between Filipino officials and Japanese business and industry leaders. President Rodrigo Duterte took a timeout to help a Filipino student in the United States with his school report. 11-year-old Andre Gabriel Custodio Esteban from Fresno, California, sent a handwritten letter to the president. He asked for a video message which he will use for a nationality report in Fresno Adventist Academy on November 15. Special Assistant to the President Christopher Bongo posted a 48-second clip where the president greeted Mrs. Richuti, Andre's teacher, and his schoolmates. Duterte also gave some heartwarming advice to Andre.
I am sure that you will do great report about our beloved country, the Philippines. Continue being a good son and study well. And may God bless you and your family and all of us in this planet Earth.
This is not the first time that President Duterte went out of his way to help especially the children. Earlier this year, the president also met with a young English-Filipino boy, Ethan Richmond, who cried when he was not able to personally see the president in his residence in Davao City. Upon knowing of Ethan's debacle, Duterte invited them to Malacanang. President Rodrigo Duterte called on the House of Representatives to fast-track the approval of the Bangsamoro Basic Law or BBL. The president said he remains committed to the cause of the Moro people in creating a new government that will better embody their ideals. Duterte said he also discussed plans with Moro National Liberation Front and the Moro Islamic Liberation Front to work for a federal setup and grant the territories and framework of governance they expect from the BBL. The BBL seeks to establish a Bangsamoro government to replace the current autonomous region in Muslim Mindanao. Malacanang expressed its hope to see the draft law approved by the end of the year. The Mining Industry Coordinating Council, or MICC, has committed to review mining operations across the country. The MICC is mandated to carry out a multi-stakeholder review of mining operations every 2 years. The council was reformed in 2012, but it has only been able to perform its duty under the Duterte administration. The first batch of operations covered by the review are the 26 sites that were ordered either closed or suspended by the Department of Environment and Natural Resources. The MICC expects preliminary results in January next year and the final report by March. Finance Secretary and MICC Co-Chair Carlos Dominguez III proposed the plan ahead for the next set of reviews in 2019. The MICC previously decided to recommend the lifting of the ban on open-pit mining. The Philippine National Police sees no security threat this All Saints' Day and All Souls' Day. PNP Chief Director General Ronald De La Rosa, however, maintains Camp Krames stays on heightened alert while all regional offices remain on high alert. De La Rosa urged the public to secure their homes and have someone keep watch so that they would not be targeted by criminals. He also ordered units to keep tight patrols in areas with banks, pawn shops, remittance centers, and other business and financial centers. He expressed confidence that adequate security measures are in place at transportation terminals to ensure the orderly travel of passengers. The Philippine Institute of Volcanology and Seismology, or PHIVOLCS, has maintained Alert Level 1 on Mayon volcano due to abnormal activity. PHIVOLCS says it recorded at least 57 volcanic quakes from Mayon since Saturday. White steam-laden plumes and sulfur dioxide emissions at an average of 441 tons were also observed for the past 3 days. It is also monitoring other parameters that could trigger the volcanic tremors. PHIVOLCS says there's still no indication that Mayon's abnormal behavior has intensified. Meanwhile, the Albay Public Safety Emergency and Management Office warned residents and visitors to stay away from Mayon's 6-kilometer radius permanent danger zone. Villagers are also advised to be on alert for possible flooding and lahar flows following heavy rains. Mayon volcano last erupted on September 18, 2014. Still to come, oil companies announce a round of fuel price hikes before All Saints' Day. Residents celebrate People's Day following the liberation of Marawi City. These and more when the PNA Newsroom continues. Motorists were greeted with oil companies implementing higher fuel prices early this morning. Pilipinas Shell, Eastern Petroleum, Sea Oil, PTT Philippines, Flying V, and Phoenix Petroleum increased their pump prices at 6 in the morning. Gasoline and diesel prices went up by 25 centavos per liter, while the price of kerosene increased by 45 centavos. The hike is due to price movement in the international market. a local official is pushing for the creation of so-called green zones in the central business district of Baguio City. Councilor Elaine Sembrano filed an ordinance requiring establishments to set up green spaces and breathing areas. These include commercial buildings like malls, shopping centers, fast food chains, amusement centers, and similar establishments. Sembrano said green zones can mitigate the effects of global warming, promote an environment-friendly central business district, and improve air quality in the city. She added that having plants or flowers in different colors beautifies a place and provides a lighter mood even to tired workers. The City Council has given its initial approval to Sembrano's proposed ordinance. Once approved, the city government will provide the plants that establishment owners will put on their green zones. Iloilo City Mayor Jed Patrick Mabilog has been officially dismissed from office. The Department of Interior and Local Government served a dismissal order against him on Monday. The order was received by Mabilog's legal counsel attorney Jonar Pueblo. Pueblo said that they will continue with their petition for certiorari before the Court of Appeals. Acting Mayor Jose Espinosa III took his oath of office as the new mayor before Liga ng mga Barangay President Rayland Hervias. Councilor Jeffrey Ganzon was also installed as vice mayor. Mabilog was ordered dismissed by the Office of the Ombudsman for alleged unexplained wealth. The Armed Forces of the Philippines, or AFP, has alerted all military units to monitor the presence of terror groups in the areas of jurisdiction. In his first command visit to the West Mindanao Command in Zamboanga City, new AFP Chief of Staff Lieutenant General Ray Leonardo Guerrero disclosed that terror threats still exist in the country. Guerrero said the military monitored that terrorists associated with international group ISIS are moving around the country. The military is also not discounting the possibility that terrorists may attack other areas in the country. He said they are working with concerned stakeholders to prevent and counter violent extremism and to ensure ISIS ideology is not being spread to the other parts of the Philippines. The Autonomous Region of Muslim Mindanao dedicated its celebration of People's Day to the end of the conflict in Marawi City. During the flag ceremony at the Marawi City Hall grounds, ARMM Regional Governor Mujib Hataman called on people to unite and work towards rebuilding and rehabilitation. He also urged everyone to show sympathy and help in the process of healing. The flag ceremony is the first since the siege ended in Marawi City and celebrated as part of the ARMM's People's Day. Aside from the flag ceremony, different line agencies set up booths to provide various services, while relief goods were distributed to returning Marawi City residents. Up next, Chris Hardinger and Kiefer Ravenna topped the first round of the 2017 PBA draft. Survivors of Super Typhoon Yolanda spend All Saints and All Souls Day visiting their loved ones in mass graves. These and more when the PNA Newsroom returns. Tristan Hardinger and Kiefer Ravenna were selected first and second top picks in the first round of the 2017 PBA Draft Sunday. San Miguel tapped the 6'8" forward with the first pick that it got from Kia in a trade approved last Friday. Ravenna was selected by NLEX in the next pick. Meanwhile, Blackwater pulled Toto Jose third overall. Phoenix took Jason Perkins as its fourth overall pick and Sydney Onwuberry as eighth overall pick. Jaron Teng, who many tipped earlier at number 3, was taken fifth overall by Alaska. Robbie Herndon, who ruled a one-on-one basketball tournament last year, was selected sixth overall by Global Port. Reynam Batak reunited with Coach Caloy Garcia at Rain or Shine as seventh overall. Star then took Lervin Flores as the ninth pick, while TNT selected Mactalio and John Gabriel back-to-back. Ginebra ended the first round by taking Jet Manuel. Residents in Eastern Samar continue to turn to traditional healing methods to treat illnesses. PNA reporter Albert Anthony Abando has this report.
In some barangays in the municipality of Oras, Eastern Samar, people seek help from resident folk therapists to cure various medical conditions. A well-known method by these healers involve massage and reciting of prayers. These are used on bodily pains and similar conditions, as well as babies with a bloated stomach caused by an evil wind or usog. Some healers learn special methods or rituals from elders such as grandparents, while others invoke divine inspiration as the source of their knowledge. They say they have cured a variety of conditions, from supposedly incurable diseases to demonic possession. Healers do not ask for specific payments for their services. In turn, some residents claim to have been genuinely cured by the faith healers. They, however, advise those who wish to consult traditional healers that they should have absolute faith that they will be cured of their illnesses. From the PNA Newsroom, I'm Albert Anthony Abando.
Thousands in Leyte will visit nameless graves to remember their loved ones who perished when Super Typhoon Yolanda ravaged central Philippines 4 years ago. Over 2,000 bodies were buried late 2013 at the mass grave in Tacloban City, considered as Yolanda's ground zero. The site is dotted with white wooden crosses and some tombstones. Some people picked a cross and wrote the name of their family members on it. In nearby Palo Town, about 378 residents were buried in a mass grave site located in front of a church. A non-government organization converted the place into a flower garden and engraved the names of victims in a granite built near the garden's gate. After the observance of All Saints' Day and All Souls' Day, families of Yolanda victims will revisit mass graves to commemorate the 4th year of the Super Typhoon on November 8. Those celebrating All Saints' Day can still expect gloomy weather as a low-pressure area continues to affect most parts of the country. Pag-asa says the low-pressure area was last seen east of Surigao City and is bringing cloudy skies with scattered rains and thunderstorms to Visayas, Mimaropa, Bicol, Caraga, Davao, Northern Mindanao, and the rest of Calabarzon. Meanwhile, the tail end of a cold front is also causing cloudy skies and scattered rains over Aurora, Quirino, and Quezon Province. Metro Manila, Bulacan, Nueva Ecija, Cordillera, and Cagayan Valley will experience cloudy skies with light to moderate rains due to the northeast monsoon. Ilocos region and the rest of central Luzon and Mindanao will experience partly cloudy to cloudy skies with isolated light rains or thunderstorms. Let's take another look at today's headlines. The Philippines and Japan signed business investments and joint ventures worth $6 billion. President Duterte asks lawmakers to fast-track the approval of the Bangsamoro Basic Law. The Armed Forces of the Philippines warns against the possible movement of terrorists associated with international group ISIS around the country. Survivors of Super Typhoon Yolanda spend All Saints and All Souls' Day visiting their loved ones in mass graves. The holidays are coming soon. It's 55 days before Christmas. For more stories, please log on to www.pna.gov.ph or visit the PNA page on Facebook and Twitter. And that's your daily dose of the hottest news and the latest information that you need to know from the PNA Newsroom. I'm Pia Rosas Morato. Good day.